Okay, yesterday you took 2 points and found the slope. Today you get 2 points, but you don't see them on a graph. I mean, I'll show them on the graph, but you don't have graph paper, okay? So yesterday what I'd have, you need to label them X, Y, okay? So I'm going to plot the point 1, 2. So this is X, this is Y. Positive, negative, positive, negative. So 1, 2, positive 1, positive 2. That's point 7, 7. So positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then there was a line. Okay. And then point 1, point 2. Rise over run. Well, you can't really do that without the graph, so we don't need that. The way you find the slope without the graph of 2 points that they tell you about is y minus y, x minus x. Okay? It has to be like that. It can't be x minus x, y minus y. It has to be y minus y, x minus x. The y's measure the rise, the x's measure the run. Now you're going to put minus, minus. Now, you need to start with the correct point. How do you know what you start with? How do you know what's furthest to the left? Well, you're going to compare your x points, okay? You actually start with the one furthest to the right, but you start with the x of the higher value. So when I compare 1 with 7, that's got the higher x value. Then you put 7 on top, 7 on bottom. Then after the minuses, you are putting 2 on top, 1 on bottom. Okay? Plus negative, plus negative. So that's going to be 5 over 6. Now look at your multiplication table. The only place you can find 5 and 6 together is the first row, so it stays 5 over 6. Now I want you to put equals M. M stands for slope. Why it's M, I have no idea, but it is. Okay? Alright, let's keep rolling. Y minus Y, X minus X. So minus, minus. Okay, I want you to compare your x's, okay? 3 is higher than negative 5, so we're starting with that. So 4 on top, 3 on bottom. The y on top, the x on bottom, okay? Y on top, the x on bottom. If you have 0, you can put plus negative, that's fine. This would be plus, plus. Minus followed by negative is a plus, plus. This is going to be 4. 3 plus 5 is 8. Now look at your multiplication table. These are both in the first row, they're both in the second row, but the further down they're also both in the fourth row. We need to do the one furthest down. So that's going to be 1 over 2, and that's M. Okay. Now, when I compare the x's, they're the same, so it doesn't matter which one you start with when they're the same. So 8 on top, 5 on bottom, then negative 2 on top, 5 on bottom after the minus. So that's plus, plus, plus negative. 8 plus 2 is 10. 5 plus negative 5 is 0. Now, what do you do with the 0? Well, I'm about to tell you. You need to take your calculator and divide the number by 0. 10 divided by 0. If you get that message, error, you write the word undefined. Undefined equals M. Okay, now let's go do another one. Y minus Y, X minus X. So minus, minus. Okay, compare your 3 to your negative 5. That's higher, so 1 on top, 3 on bottom. After the minus, 3 on top, negative 5 on bottom. So it's plus, negative, plus, plus. Okay, 1 plus negative 3 is negative 2. 3 plus 5 is 8. Okay, so if you look at your chart, 2 and 8 are both in the second row. You keep the negative, okay? So negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1, 8 divided by 2 is 4, and negative 1/4 is your slope. Okay, so y minus y, x minus x. Okay, compare your x's. Okay, 3 is higher than negative 8, so 0 over 3. Then after you got 0 over negative 8. That's just going to be 0 over 11. Now when you get 0, you need to take your calc. Don't write undefined automatically. Don't do it automatically. 0 divided by 11. I didn't get the error message. I got 0. So you write 0 equals m. Okay. Now you're like, why did I get an error on the one but not on the other? That's because if you have 0 on the bottom, it's going to say error, divide by 0. Here, 0's on top. You're not dividing by 0. So 0 equals m. Okay, next one. Y minus y, x minus x. Negative 6, negative 2. Negative 2 is the higher value. So negative 2, negative 2. Then negative 6, negative 6. So those are negative 2's in front, plus 6. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4. When you end up with the same number, you divide by that number, 4. Okay, that's 1 over 1 equals m. Okay. Next, xy, xy. Y minus y, x minus x. Okay, if I'm comparing negative 5 to positive 1, there's a higher value. So negative 2 on top, 1 on bottom. Then after the minuses, negative 4 on top, negative 5 on bottom. So we got negative 2 plus 4. Positive 1 plus 5. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2. 1 plus 5 is 6. Look at your table. They're both in the second row. That's the furthest row. So that's 1/3. 1 to 3. Okay, last one. Y minus y, x minus x. Okay, negative 4, negative 5. Negative 4 has a higher value than negative 5. Okay, so 3 on top, negative 4 on bottom. You're comparing the x's. Okay, negative 4 is a higher value than negative 5. Okay, 7 on top, negative 5 on bottom. So plus, negative, plus, plus. 3 plus negative 7 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 5 is 1. Okay. Okay, you just divide by 1, but it would still be the same. Negative 4 over 1 equals m. All right.